Sometimes the heaviest thing we carry is the person we haven't forgiven, not because they still have power over us, but it's because we haven't released ourselves. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jevone Perspective. I'm your host, Jevone. I'm so grateful that you guys are here today. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter to all those that celebrate those holidays. I'm just, again, grateful that you guys are here today. This episode is going to be a personal one. We are diving into something, that can be uncomfortable, raw, and yet completely life-changing. The freedom of forgiveness. And listen, forgiveness isn't just about letting someone else off the hook, right? It's about feeling free and freeing yourself. So let's unpack what that means. I want to begin with what forgiveness isn't. Forgiveness isn't saying what you did was okay, what you said was okay. It's not brushing it under the rug or even pretending that it didn't hurt. And it's definitely not forgetting. And it definitely doesn't mean that you have to welcome that person back into your life. Forgiveness is saying, I no longer give you the power over my peace. I choose to heal over holding on to grudges. It's an act of self-liberation, a spiritual cleanse. And here's the truth. Holding on to bitterness doesn't protect us. It blinds us. And if you're not careful, it can shape how we see the world. And it will also shape how you see yourself. I wanted to take a moment to talk about why forgiveness is crucial to our healing. It's a part of the healing process. And why it's important to heal. Number one, it's important to heal and release the emotional weight that, holding grudges and holding bitterness can have on us. Releasing that emotional weight is important. Like, think about resentment. Think about resentment as a backpack, right? Full of bricks or full of a lot of baggage. And if you carry that long enough, it starts to feel normal. Your body starts to adjust to it, but it can be exhausting. So when you forgiving, it's almost like setting that bag off of your shoulders and putting that bag down and releasing it. You no longer have that heaviness, that weight. So imagine that the bitterness and the resentment being those bricks and that pain being those bricks, and you finally take that backpack off your shoulders. Imagine how you will feel. Forgiveness allows you to move forward. You can't reach for the future while, you cling on to your past. Look at forgiveness as the key that unlocks those doors and those chains that have been holding you back. And one of the most amazing things that I've realized on my journey about forgiveness and healing is that it brings clarity. Once you're not clouded by pain, you can see people for who they are, and you can see yourself for who you are. You start to gain more clarity, along the way. You start showing up differently. You start loving differently. You start protecting your peace differently without holding guilt, right? Let's take a moment and center ourselves for a minute. I want you to take a moment and I want you to think of a person, whoever that person is, whoever comes to your mind first, when you hear the word forgiveness. Don't overthink it. That first name, that's where the healing might need to begin for you. Is that person yourself? Is that person a friend? Is it a family member? Is it multiple people? Identifying what that bitterness is, what the grudge is, what the hurt is, what the pain is, what the disappointment is, identifying where it stems from can really start you and catapult you to the next level of your healing journey. Now, let me take a moment to get personal with you all. Now, if you haven't realized, I've named my podcast after subjects that really, really resonated with me in my healing process. In this particular episode, the freedom and forgiveness really, really resonated with me. I have felt like I've been forgiving people all my life, from childhood to adulthood. And I won't really get too detailed, But I will tell you this: I had to forgive in order for me to be free. I had to forgive in order to for me to unlock those doors of opportunity, those doors of peace, those doors of joy, and liberation. There was a time in my life when I felt like I was carrying so much pain. Um, I didn't even realize that it was still affecting me to this day. I've been hurt by people that I trusted deeply, by people that I thought would never deliberately try to hurt me, and some unintentional. Um, and the truth is, I felt that I knew I wasn't healing because I kept on playing uh, whatever it was, whatever the situation was, back in my head over and over again. I kept on wanting the apology, waiting for the apology, and I knew that it was a possibility that it would never come. Um, what I didn't realize is that I had to build walls around my heart. Um, I felt like because if I built walls around my heart, a barrier, I felt like that would protect myself. When in reality, I was just keeping love out, and I was keeping bitterness and anger and frustration in. I held on to a lot of pain for a long time because it was familiar. I was used to dealing with it. It was normalized, you know. I become accustomed to it. But I had to ask myself, you know, what was it really costing me? What was it really costing me to hold on to the anger and to the bitterness from the loved ones and the people that I felt cared about me? What was I holding on to? What was it costing me? It was costing me my peace. It was costing me my freedom. It was costing me my joy and so much more. And one day I had to make the decision, a conscious decision, not because they deserved it, right? Not because um, they said sorry, but because I deserved peace. I released them in my heart, and I started to feel lighter. I could breathe again. I could love again. Me first of all, me first and foremost, I had to love me. And I'm telling you from my experience, forgiveness will stretch you, it will strengthen you, it will allow you to grow mentally, spiritually, and physically. But it will also free your soul from that dark place that you were in. Quick story, I remember some years ago as a grown adult, um, there were some things that I dealt with in my younger years by the hands of someone that I loved. And for many, many years, I resented this individual. But at the same time, I also loved them because I felt like they gave me on one end a space to show up and be vulnerable, but then they also took advantage of my vulnerability. And that was tough. But for many years, it really bothered me that I never got a sorry from this individual. And I I didn't realize I was replaying certain things in my head and reflecting back on those things. And at moments, anger would come to my head first. Anger would be and frustration and confusion, and still trying to figure this person out, and still trying to figure. And this is years after not speaking to them, hadn't seen them at all. But I still was playing the story over in my head. I was still trying to figure out why, and I was still trying to put two and two together. And I felt that, like again, like I said earlier, that it cost me my peace at that time. So one day I decided to pour my heart out um, in a long. I had wrote the letter, right, um, but I ended up texting texting everything that I felt in a text message, versus like sending a letter. Like I said, I wrote it myself. I had the letter in front of me, but I just um, transfer the information over to a text message. So in my head, I'm like, if I send this text message, at least I can see that person read it. I know they received it. In the mail, I'm like, I didn't want the possibility of it getting lost, right? But I knew if I send it directly to them via text message, they would get it. So pour my heart out. Of course, a couple of tears dropped from my face because I'm releasing. That's how I knew that I was doing something powerful, because I was emotional, and I'm not a crier. Some people call me emotional, but I'm not a crier at all. But tears started to fall, and I felt a weight lifted as I was saying each word, in this text message. And when I pushed the send button, and I hesitated for a second, but something said, "Send it, release it, move forward. You deserve it." And I remember right before I did send it, what I said at the end of the letter was, no matter if you reply, no matter if you ever say anything else to me ever again, know that I'm releasing, know that I'm forgiving you, know that I am moving forward in my life. It was powerful. It was powerful. And eventually I saw this individual again. And when I got around them, I didn't feel afraid. I didn't feel inferior. I felt powerful. I felt like after all these years, and I'm talking about 20 years or so, after all these years, maybe even a little bit longer, I am letting go and forgiving you for something that many people probably would have never forgiven an individual. But by the grace of God, I'm able to sit here today and speak to you guys and let you know that when you forgive someone that has hurt you, that has done you wrong, that has mistreated you, you give yourself the power back. You give yourself the power to be free again. You reclaim everything that was taken away from you. Your joy, your peace, your dignity, your pride, your happiness, whatever it was, you take that back. It is yours. It is yours. And when I looked at that person, I didn't see anger anymore. I didn't see frustration. I didn't see any of those things. Because the reality of it is that sometimes hurt people hurt people. And I know many of us heard that saying before, but a lot of people are hurt people hurt people. Some people don't even know why they did things or said things or whatnot to you. But a lot of times hurt people hurt people. And some people can continue that cycle because they have not healed from that. And it's so unfortunate because in this world it's a recycled hurt and pain and causing harm to others sometimes becomes a cycle. It becomes generational. It becomes all kinds of things because it's so much damage that has been done that you're now a hurt person who has now hurt other people. So that's another reason why healing is so important, because you will repeat the process. And it may not be today or tomorrow. You may not hurt somebody today or tomorrow, but eventually if you do not, or you may even cause some self-inflicting harm to yourself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's one story that I have for you. I mean, I could go on and on about forgiveness and the things that I've experienced, but that was just one thing. But again, by the grace of God, I'm here to tell you my story, and I'm here to again share and allow you to know that there is space for you to forgive. There is space for you to love again. There's space for you to heal. You deserve it. I want you to know that forgiveness is not a weakness. It's strength. It's not forgetting, what happened. It's choosing peace in the place of pain. It's not about letting them win. It's about choosing to live again. You ask, how do we begin? How do we get to a place where forgiveness is um, at the forefront? How do you get to a place where you're able to be free enough and strong enough and having the vulnerability and the willingness to forgive? How do you get to that place? And here are a few steps that help me. Number one, you have to acknowledge what happened. Don't minimize it. Be honest about the pain. Name it. Put a name on it so you can heal it. Number two, understand that forgiveness is for you. They may never apologize. Like I said in my past, my story, they may never apologize, and that's okay. This is your journey and it's not theirs. Number three, give yourself time and grace. Forgiveness is a process. And sometimes wounds take some time to heal. If you think about a cut or something, you just can't put a band-aid on it and overnight it's going to be magically healed. Sometimes wounds take time to heal. Okay, so like I said, give yourself grace. Number four, set yourself healthy boundaries. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to keep, them in your life. You can forgive somebody and walk away. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconnection with someone. Like I did. Number five, write it out. Whether it be a letter, whether it be in a journal, a text message, whatever way that you want to do it, but write it out. Get it off your chest. Write a letter like I did and send it if you want, or text message. Let those emotions come out. Let those tears fall. Then release it. And last but not least, I would say seek support. I've been telling you guys my journey. I've been in therapy for about a year. So seek support. It has helped me tremendously. I found someone that aligns with me, that connects with me. And when I tell you, it has really changed my mindset on even how I look at people that have hurt me. My mindset is, I'm not angry with them. I actually empathize with those individuals, but in a way of not minimizing my hurt, right? But in a way of like, you know what? I acknowledge my hurt, but I also acknowledge that other people hurt people based off of their pain and suffering. And it's not always the case. Some people are just malicious, right? Some people are just nasty individuals with deep demons in their spirits. But like I said, talking to a therapist has really, really helped me. Open up to someone that is safe. Open up to someone that you can confide in. Healing does not happen, and it doesn't have to happen in isolation. Many of us wants to lock ourselves in rooms or stay away from people. Your healing, yes, while it does start with you, but being isolated sometimes can keep you in your thoughts. Get out of the house, take a walk. I'm telling you, it is so therapeutic. I will go take a walk, listen to the breeze, listen to the birds, and take in just earth. Sometimes I'll just sit by water if it's nice out and just be in peace and have a peace of mind. There's this saying that goes like, what did they say? They said, holding grudges and resentment and anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Come on, let that sink in. When you hold grudges and resentment and anger towards people, and you hold on to not forgiving those individuals, it's like drinking poison, expecting the other person to suffer and die. That right there will change your whole perspective on why it is important to let go and forgive. So I want to pose these questions. What would your life be, and what would it feel like if you finally let it go? What would open up for you if you put the weight down and choose to be free? Really think about that. Just take a moment, matter of fact, take a moment to think about what life would be like if you finally let that pain go. You're feeling it right now. Let it go and forgive. You do yourself a disservice by continually holding on to it. You've been battling it long enough. You've been fighting it long enough. You've cried long enough. You hurt other people because you've been hurt long enough. You're not a bad person. You deserve to be happy. And I'm not talking about just on the outside, on the surface level, but you deserve to be happy internally. You deserve to be happy from your feet to the bottom, or to the soles of your feet, to the top of your head, and everywhere else in between. You deserve to feel joy again. You deserve to smile again. You deserve to be everything that you desire to be. And look at you, you're actually already doing it. When you look back over your life and all the things that you've been through, how you've been able to make it through, when many people that were in your shoes have either taken themselves out, have turned to drugs and alcohol, and many other things. And if you have turned to those things, if you have turned to drugs and alcohol, you have turned to those vices, it is okay, because there's still an opportunity for you to grow and heal and change from that as well. I believe in you. I believe that God already has your story planned out for you. You wonder why you ask God questions. Well, God, why me? Why me? When I think about my story and what I've been through, my story is not my own. My life is not my own. There is a purpose for your story. There's a reason why you went through what you went through. There's a reason why I went through what I went through. I'm able to share my story with someone, and I pray that I'm helping them in this moment. Your story is going to help someone else as well. Whether it be that friend, that family member, brother or sister, your story is going to inspire others. Today is the day that you start. Today is the day you start to write that letter. Today is the day that you say that prayer. Today is the day that you open that journal. Today is the day that you make that therapy appointment. Today is the day that you take that first step, just one. And you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to decide that your peace matters. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are healing. You are rising. And your peace, that's not a privilege. It's your birthright. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, and let something go today. You've got this. You've got this, and I'm here with you. Thank you for sharing this space with me on the Jevone Perspective. Listen, if this episode spoke to your soul, share it with someone you love. Tag me, DM me, review the show, and let me know how forgiveness is showing up in your life. You are seen, you are loved, and you are walking towards freedom. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, forgive often, and never forget, your freedom is worth the work. Peace.